Okay. Okay. So, good morning, everyone. Our today's lecture is related to your fourth and fifth unit, in which we will be studying what is forest management and how do we plan for different kinds of forest management strategies. Along with that, I will be taking a case study where um, uh, it is a case study done by some company, and in that case study we will be studying ki how different apps which are related to forest, especially applications of forest, and different drones which is a part of hyperspectral remote sensing, how they are being used for different applications of forest management strategies. Other than that, different kinds of survey, how different instruments is being used, the digital instruments for the different surveying techniques in the forest applications area. Okay, so let's start with the forest management. Now, what do you mean by forest management? Okay, as you have studied ki what is forest and what are the different benefits of having these forest activities, or the role of forest in environment, or fulfilling the needs of local people residing uh, in and around these forest areas. Okay, so let's start with what is forest management. To maintain all those activities, what I have told you, like environmental controls which the forest are having, or different activities which are related to the needs of the people who are in and around of those forest, or who are dependent on these forests for different activities of their or their livelihoods. So for them, it is very important to have the different kinds of forest management strategies, so that it can be managed for the present scenario people, and it can be managed for the people who are uh, you know 8 seconds, for the people for their future use of different kinds of forest resources. So let's start with the forest management. What is forest management? Okay, so forest management is a branch of forestry which is concerned with the overall administrative, economic, legal, and social aspects, with the essentially scientific and technical aspect, especially silviculture, protection, and forest regulations. Okay, so forest management kya hai? Is basically it is dealing with the overall activities which are related to the administrative activities within the forestry, economic, legal, and social aspects of the forestry, which deals with the scientific and technical aspects of different forests, especially with the focus on silviculture and protection of these forest resources, and obviously the to implement various forest regulations. Okay, so different kinds of, as you know, different kinds of economic, legal, illegal things are there into the forestry. So when we want the forest management, we need to control all these things in terms of administrative control over there, economic control over there, different kinds of legal aspects of the different forest activities, and yes, of course, the social and culture aspects. Okay, with reference to scientific and technical aspects, with a focus on silviculture protection and the forest regulations. Now, this forest management, this includes the management of aesthetics, silviculture, recreation, urban values, water related activities, the wilderness, the wildlife who are residing inside those forested areas, different kinds of wood products, forest genetic resources, and other forest resource values. Okay, so management of all these things, okay, whatever is there in the forestry, biotic and abiotic things, that has to be managed. Okay, the management of all these things, whether it is related to aesthetics values of the forest, whether it is related to the different silviculture activities, recreational, as we all know that inside the different forested areas they have a recreational value also. That's why many of the nature parks, wildlife sanctuaries, they are being created for the maintenance of these recreational urban values or the different kinds of wildlife or wilderness products. Okay, then management can be based on the conservation, economics, or a mixture of two techniques. Okay, so these management can be based on the conservations, economic values of the forest areas, or it can be the mix of both the things, where we are focusing on the conservation activities and the economy of the area, both. Okay, then the techniques include the timber extraction, planning and replanting of the various species, cutting of roads and pathways through the forests, and preventing the fires. Okay, so why cutting of roads and making the roads and preventing fires? Because in the areas which are having very high forest, they make the fire lines. Okay, which is also acting as a pathways for the people who are residing inside those forests, or maybe people who are connected with those two areas of forest. Okay, so they act like a roads also, they act like a uh, a dividing part of a forest, through which we can stop fire, because there is a road or there is a extraction between that particular forest. So half of the portion, because of that road or cutting road, it can be managed. Okay, so we have a specific term called as I think fire line or something, to stop those fire activities or the regular fire. We make or we cut the road from the center of the forest, and it also act like preventing fires. Okay, so these techniques, where we are talking about the conservation as well as to restore the various economic activities inside those forest areas. Okay, the major techniques, they include the timber extraction related activities, planting of trees while we are extracting the timber. In that ratio, we should plan for the replantation of the different trees. Then we are till somehow we are able to go for the forest management activities. Okay, then what is the need for these kind of management activities? Okay, so forest management is required to avoid the following kind of things. First thing, extinction of thousands of species. Okay, if there is a loss of a forested area, obviously there are thousands or crores of species who are residing inside those forested area, or for whom they act as a habitats. Okay, so because of the loss of the forest, any forest, it may have a endangered situation, or a situation of disappearing of these animals or plant species who are there in those forested areas. Okay, so millions of plants and animal species are in danger of disappearing as a result of this deforestation activities. Then secondly, heavy soil erosion. First is the extinction of thousands of species. Second, danger is the heavy soil erosion. Okay, if we go for a continuous cutting of a tree or those kind of activities, that somehow leads to the soil erosion. How? Because the roots of the trees, they hold the soil in a proper way. If those roots are being extracted, obviously the soil becomes loose and it leads to the various activities related to the soil erosion. Okay, then we have a greenhouse effect. Okay, as you all know, the trees, they also act in maintaining various greenhouse related gases. Okay, so the continued degradation of our forests are heightens the threat of global warming, also in terms of different gases of which are continuing to a threat for the environment. Then it also leads to the impact of flooding, because flooding is one of the major importance in the forest, that they absorb the water very quickly. Okay, at the time of floodings, if there are forests, they absorb water very quickly. But if you take an example of your metros, cities, whether it is Bombay, Jaipur, Udaipur. Okay, so because of lacking of these forests into the metropolitan cities, there is no way of absorption of excessive water into the soil or into the land areas, because everywhere there is a construction. Okay, so the water very rapidly falls inside the city areas, and because it has lost its natural drainage because of the heavy construction in different areas of the cities, it leads to the flash flood like conditions in various metro cities every years. You listen to these kind of newses that Delhi, few areas of Delhi, they are under flash flood like conditions. Few areas of Jaipur, last to last year, they were under flash flood like conditions. Okay, so what is the major cause? Because of no vegetation into those areas, and the natural drainage is being choked with the heavily constructed buildings into those areas. Okay, so that's why, because of no exit, there is a coming of water in the form of rainfall, but there is no a channel through which it can drain out. Okay, so that kind of condition sometimes leads to the flooding like conditions. Then we have the cases of landslide. So as previously also I have told you that trees prevent the soil from getting eroded. Okay, its roots, they tightly holds the these soils or these parts of lands. Okay, and because of the cutting of the trees, this soil, it easily can be eroded by the different activities of like water or wind, and it leads to different kinds of landslides. Nowadays daily you are listening that uh, many parts of Uttarakhand, they are under the conditions of landslide. Why? Because of the natural soil, because of continuous cutting of trees, but because of broadening of trees, the land, it get looses, and because of heavy rainfall, the soil is being eroded by the water, and which leads to ultimately most of the landslides in those areas. Okay, then the degraded watershed. When the forest mountains are denuded, the watersheds are degraded, and this leads to the loss of sustainable water supplies of the lowland communities. Okay, so degraded watersheds also are the outcome of the different kinds of forest degradations, okay, which leads to the lack of water supplies in the lowland areas because of these unmanaged forest activities. Now there are various methods through which we can manage these forest uh, forest lands. So first method is afforestation. Now, what is afforestation? Afforestation is a establishment of forest or stand of tree in the area where there is no forest. Okay, whenever in some wasteland or fallow land we are trying to establish a forest or a stand of forest, okay, in that kind of activity is called as afforestation. Okay, you must have heard that in many of the mining area, after mining, these mining companies or the mining department, government mining department, they plan for different kind of afforestation activities, as they plan for different plantation into those areas. Okay, so afforestation is a method through which we can go for the establishment of a forested area or a stand of trees in terms of different plantation into those areas where there is no forest or where there is wasteland or fallow lands. Okay, then the second is reforestations. Okay, now what is reforestation? Reforestation is a rest restocking of the existing forests and woodlands which have depleted an effect of deforestation. Okay, so restocking of the existing forest and woodlands is known as the reforestation. Afforestation, when you converting fallow land or that kind of land into a forested area, but reforestation is restocking of the existing forest and woodlands which has been degraded due to some effects of deforestation. So we, when we are trying to reforest, like its name is denoting, or regaining this kind of forest activities, we are talking about the reforestation activities. Then we have the sustainable management, forest management. Now, what is sustainable management? Through this topic, we have gone through in our previous lectures also that sustainable forest management is a management of forest where, okay, where the principles of sustainability can be developed. Okay, where we are talking about the future generation of the forest or future management of the different kinds of forest management or forest areas for the future generations to come. Okay, so we have studied about the afforestation, reforestation, and sustainable management of forests. Then we can also manage our forest by avoiding the forest fires or wildfires. As you have seen that many areas of Himalayas, because of the presence of the pines, which is having a resin content, many Himalayan forests, they are under the threat of fires. And if you take an example of global scenario of fire, you have seen that the Amazon Valley, the Australia, they had a very drastic loss of biomass, as well as the various fauna which are residing into those forests due to the different kinds of wildfire activities. So if we are controlling these wildfire directly or indirectly, we are able to manage up to some extent to different kinds of forest management activities. Okay, so wildfire is a very uncontrolled fire which is combustible. It causes the loss of vegetation, the loss of habitats to various animals, and also a loss of biomass in a countryside or a particular area. Okay, so if we control these kind of fires, we are able to go for some management of forest to some extent. Okay, then we can conclude by saying that one of the biggest challenge towards the outlook of forest in the recent times has been concern about the sustainability of these forest resources. Okay, so one of the biggest challenge is to have imbalance between different kinds of afforestation, reforestation, and other kind of forest management related activities to maintain them and go for different kind of sustainable management of these resources. So if we want to go for the sustainability, we need to focus on the different activities like afforestation, like controlling of fires, like controlling of the reforestation activities. Okay, so if we are able to perform these activities in well manner, to some extent we are going towards the different kinds of forest management activities, and we are able to justify with the sustainable management of the forests. It has emerged as one of the main concern in recent uh, policy and advocacy. The National Forest Commission has recommended the creating of the forest environment to manage, to assess, and to go for different strategies which are related to the forest management activities. So National Forest Commission has recommended that, and using that kind of things we are able to go for some kind of forest management activities. So with this, I hope I am able to justify with the forest management, what is that, and how we can go for these forest management activities. Okay, now followed by this, how these activities are being managed by different kinds of this different kinds of maps, apps, and different kinds of technologies, how different landowners and forest managers, they are managing with the help of these tools regarding the forest management, that we are going to study. Now this is a case study which is done by Landmark Spatial Solution. Okay, so I found it very good, where we have a combination of different apps and different kind of maps or mapping techniques, and the use of the UAVs for different forest management related activities. Now let's start about the different landmark solution, spatial solution, how we can go for different kinds of. So first, the forest technology, it is a forest technology company which go for the sales, training, and support of different equipments, which is I told you, different apps, maps, and drone activities. So these are the different instruments which we are taking into consideration for different, as different apps, as different surveying instruments, and different management strategies using these surveys or mapping or different softwares. Okay, so these are different softwares, these are different surveying tools, and the drones, they are also being used for different kinds of mapping purposes. So okay, so what we do, we go for different forest measurements, we go for different forest inventories and mapping using these tools and techniques. Okay, then it also provides us the logging solution, that how we can go for different kinds of logging activities and how we can go for the harvesting of these things, and finally how we can plan for the different activities of plantations also. Okay, so these are the instruments which are being used for different kinds of logging and uh, you know harvesting strategies of different biomasses. Then this the UAV technique, which is related to the drone technology. Now what do we help? First, it helps the different consultations to different foresters. It also helps for different timber buyers. Okay, from where we can go for the purchasing of the different timber products. Then it can also helps in different loggers and mill managers, industrial timber companies. Okay, then different companies of forest management activities. Then it also helps in different private landowners and managers who are into these activities of plantation of different trees. Then environmental consultants, wildlife and fisheries, government agencies, and universities, which are dealing with the different applications of forestry, wildlife, and environment. Okay, so it can help, it can means these tools and techniques, they can help in various people who are uh, into the different activities related to the forestry. Now where are they? Okay, now where are these locations? Okay, the consultants of or foresters, they can, or the timber buyers, or anyone who wants to go for what and where a particular location is, that kind of activities can also be found through the maps as well as through the GPSs. Okay, so these are the their partner who are dealing into this company, where the Trimble, forestry, or ISRI, or these kind of things, different companies, they are playing their role in different activities of forestry related mappings. Okay, now what is the my agenda to show you this kind of case study, to make you aware that what are the companies who are dealing with the different applications of the forest, and what are the different apps, what are the different kinds of maps, and the drones or the UAV techniques, which are different companies are taking into consideration for their mapping and management purposes. So different apps, maps, and drones. Now about the apps, we have forestry apps, different forestry apps, different mapping apps, different logging apps, and different hardware considerations which can be taken into consideration for the mapping of these forestry. Now, USFS forestry kit, where the main menu is about this, where we can go for the different financial calculations, general measurements of the trees, site indexing of a particular area, stand measurements, and then the tree measurements and the volume measurements. So these kind of activities can be done with the USFS forestry kit. Then the mapping apps. Okay, these are different mapping apps with related to the this kind of mapping activities within forested areas, where we have measure map software, We have IGIS, Landglide, Avenger GeoPDF, ArcGIS Collector app, Terran Navigator with parcel data, and Trimble Terraflex. So these are different apps. There may be more apps, but in this case study, they are able to tell us about these apps. Then the logging apps, Trimble Follows. This is a logging app where we can go for the planning of different kinds of logging related activities, where the sample yet to powerful application used related to the record, track, and report load, haul, and mill information of the forested area. Okay, so this is one application where, which is totally related to the different kinds of logging related activities. Then loads workflow, this is again one more application where the administrators, they can define following things, where the logger name can be added, contract species, what are the species of the logging, trees, available products कितना है, अवेलेबल ग्रेड्स क्या है, डेस्टिनेशन कहाँ उसको रखना है, एंड व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट कंपनीज हु कैन go for the purchasing or the storing of these kind of logging of trees. Okay, so these kind of things can be maintained with this Forloads workflow software. Then in second step, these kind of things can be stored. And then in third step, we can enter the load data, where the ticket ID, okay, a unique ID can be provided to this load data. And then the load date, what is the load date, position from where it is being loaded, the data, or the the cutted trees. Then whom has to be contract ID, then crew, optional, destination where it has to reach, species again optional, and product. Okay, so these are the various input parameters into these loading softwares. Okay, when we go for different kind of logging activities in a forested area, it can help us in different records maintenance, tracking, and reporting of the load data sets, and finally the mill information where it has to reach. Okay, so various steps, there are steps through which it can reach up to the last stage of the softwares, where we are talking about the mill information. Okay, so for in first step, the administrators, they define these different informations. And then in second steps, what are the different rates, they need to put that thing also. Then this is a software based input which are being which has to be filled. Okay, in third step, we need to enter the load data. Then in fourth step, where the things has to be delivered, okay, that data has to be entered, in which, in the woods, haul company, the driver who will be taking those things into the trucks and delivering to the proper company of its. Okay, so after delivery, the mill ticket, to whom they have given the things, that mill ID ticket number has to be entered, and what is the net weight at the time of delivery. This has been put kept in the initial state when we were loading, and now when we were delivering the things to the company, then also we are giving the mill ID and the net weight what they have delivers. And then we synchronize the data, whether what they have loaded and what they have delivered, they are synchronizing. If so, then yes, the things has been delivered properly, and then we can download the reports also. Okay, then we can create a loggers record, where the monthly or weekly or daily loading can be screened out, and we can take a record of that based on maybe hourly basis, maybe 12 hourly basis, maybe a daily basis. Okay, so that CSV can be downloaded. Then the hardware considerations. Okay, the hardware consideration, what is the durability of the these things which we are delivering, whether they are moisture, heaty or cold. Battery life क्या है, whatever instruments we are using, and distractions क्या हैं, and GPS accuracy under canopy क्या है. Okay, so hardware, about the hardware, we have to be aware with these kind of things, that what is the battery life. If suppose the battery life is 4 days, then we are planning for logging for 5 days, then we have to keep some extra batteries based on the life of the battery. Then what are the distraction, if there is this distraction in a particular area, so what are the solutions to overcome those kind of distractions, and what is the GPS accuracy in the very dense forest as far as their canopy is concerned. So all these considerations related to the hardware or GPS or other instruments, whatever we are using for those kind of things, we had to be aware. Then GPS under canopy, okay, whether it has single to noise ratio or multipath errors. If there are errors, okay, because of excessive density of trees, so what kind of errors the GPS can appear with in the high canopy areas, that has to be observed, and then according to that we need to go for the solution. Okay, so we can also calculate the error, how much does the GPS error, and how much it matters, so we can go for the rectification based on that. Okay, then the three grades of GPS are available in the market. One is the consumer, which gives us more than 3 meter accuracy. Okay, then mapping purpose. Then this is 1 to 3 meter, and then the professional GPSs, which gives you accuracy of sub-meter. Okay, so now depends on your requirement. We go for the selection of these three grades GPS. Then we have the static test result, all stations. So this is how we get the results. Okay, you can see here in the, then this is the all stations result. Okay, what is the error, and what is the rank of different error in different instruments or different types of GPS which we are using. Then this is the dynamic test results at all stations. You can see the amount of error in different observations of different station GPSs. Okay, now the GPS mapping, if accuracy matters, then lots of good GPS units are under canopy is there, which we can go for, and iPhone is constantly bad under canopy. Okay, so if you are thinking ki I have a iPhone which has an inbuilt GPS in it, so under the canopies or under in high forested areas, that may give you bad or wrong results, as you have seen the error in case of these iPhones. Okay, which is the maximum. So we need to go for the good quality GPS under the canopy conditions. Okay, then only we can get the good results as far as the location or other things of the forest stand is concerned. Then Trimble PG 200 GNSS server. So according to this is a specification. So we have to go through the specifications of the different. We have lots many brands of GPS along with the accuracy. So as per our requirement, we need to opt for the selection of these instruments. Then different maps. Okay, so ISRI ArcGIS platform, all products fit together in the map. Web maps are inside of apps, online or offline, collector apps, then Stream Unlimited. So with the help of ISRI, in this case study, they have able to generate different web maps as per the need. Okay, then the Terrain Navigator Pro also being taken into consideration. Okay, where the great mapping program, but not a GIS program, was used. It includes this terrain navigator. It includes the topography, the multiple aerial photos, the parcel level data for 90% of the US countries can be taken into consideration. Okay, then digitizing polygons, clip photos, import and export of different shape files, excellent map printing capabilities. These are the specifications of this Terrain Navigator Pro software, which was taken into consideration for the map generation in this case study. Okay, we can go for the selection of these tools as per our need or requirements. Then we have drones. We have two types of drone which they have used in specifically this case study. Then uses of this drones, inspection of the forested areas and mapping in the forested areas. Now based on that mappings and inspection, we can go for the creation of different regulations of the forestry, and we can also be aware about the different issues of the forest in using these drones. Now what are the types of drone which are being which can be used in different kinds of forest surveys and mapping purposes? The one is the fixed wing. Okay, where the wings are fixed. Okay, now this is a simple structure. This fixed wing type of drone, this has a simple structure. It gives you a very fast observation. Longer flights can be done. It is more expensive. Along with that, aerial mapping also can be done, and landing more difficult. Okay, so it is has a simple structure. It gives you fast calculations. Then it has a capacity of long flights, but landing of the drone or the flight is difficult in case of these kind of things, or this is more expensive also. Then rotary wings, where we have rotation of the rotating of the wings can be done. It is easy to fly, vertical takeoff and landing. Inspection can be done. This is quite cheaper, and this is more flexible with payloads and sensors. Okay, so these are different types of drone which can be used as per your need. Then hybrid, it has a vertical takeoff and loading landing. Then fixed wings, it has also got longer flights. It can be used for mapping. Manual and autonomic, all both the things can be there. And then it has a cost effectiveness also. Now, what kind of forest inspections can be done with the help of these drone activities? We have seen different types of drone, where we have gone through the fixed wing, rotary wings, and hybrid. Now we can go for different kinds of forest inspections using these drone activities. First, we can go for the forest health identification. Okay, then we can also go for the logging. Okay, BMP compliance with mixed drags. Okay, then the forestry inspection, okay, can be done. This kind of, then regeneration related application can be also where we want to go for regeneration, or where the regeneration is also in process as far as the forest inspection is concerned. Then wherever there are drainage or different kinds of waterlogging related or damage or other damages that can be inspect, then pre-timber crews that can also be calculated, then controlled burning or wildfire can also be evaluated, and then management strategy planning can be done. Then forestry mapping can be done, where the different kinds of planning related to the plantation is being done. So these kind of things can also be done with the help of this forest mapping related issues are concerned. Then with the help of this, we can also go for the complete regain and control of these drones at any time. Okay, we can also imply the flight mission regarding the different forest mapping related activities, where we can go for the launch of UAV, finally automatic mode of the this launch of UAV, then monitoring the status of the PC or tablet, and then we can also have the control over this launch of this flight of the UAV, and we can use these data set for different kinds of forestry mapping, where we can plan for the load of photos and flights, and we can have a logs related information. Okay, this is 2D mosaicing for GIS. This is 3D modeling, where we can go for the 3D modeling, and through which we can go for the tree height related information, or tree height or tree cover stand related activities done. Then we can also go for the volumes of the trees, the biomass calculation with the help of these datas which we are getting from different types of UAVs. Then we can also go for the stockpile volumes, whatever stock we have piled up, what is the volume of those stocks, and how we can manage for these piled up stocks. Okay, then the current FAA regulations are there, which we need to follow while we are going for any kind of UAV or this drone related activities. Okay, like fly below 400 feet, see it at all the times. You have to take care about these drones. Don't fly within 5 miles of an airport. Okay, we have to be careful that there should not be an airport within a 5 kilometer reach where we are trying to go for these kind of analysis. And we need to take care that there should not be a people or stadium near the area where you are doing this kind of drone activity. So you have to follow the regulations of these FAA regulations while we are going for any kind of UAV activities. Okay, so what are the conclusions? With the help of these maps, these applications, these drone activities, okay, we can go for the amazing applications like the integration of different hardware and software applications. We can also go for the different creation of maps with the help of these software, and then these datas which we have collected, we can go for the different kinds of inspection which are being certified with these different kinds of surveying and application tools. Okay, so the results which we are able to get by using these maps, okay, by using these applications through which we have done so much of analysis, and the use of drone activities which can give us minute information about the forest stand, about the biomass of that area, about the health status of the area. So it can be quantify with the help of these applications or these different survey instruments in the field. Okay, so we can apply a bigger area using these drones or these software with less times. But yes, we had to have a good amount of investment to perform all these kind of things. But the results which you will be getting, if these results will be very good and very precise in terms of their accuracy and all those kind of things. So with this, I think I have tried to give you a brief about the forest management. Along with that, I have also briefed you about the different surveying techniques, different instruments, different UAV techniques, and different applications which can also be used for the enhancement of these different applications related to forest management. Okay, so if you have any queries, you can ask me, and then you can also appear for your quiz after the lecture through your LMS.